There was a really interesting thing that I noticed on day 4, and he and I, again on day 4, he and I were the only Aussies in the box, and all of the English people, and I know you do this, and I know you do this, were very pessimistic. Like everyone around, regardless of what was going on, the people around me like, oh no, you've got this, and you could see the hunched shoulders, and I was like, I don't think we have yet. I think this England team are capable of a lot. And then we had a good session in the afternoon, and all the English people, I went back into the box, and they'd unfolded their arms, and they went, we're happy now. And I went, why? And they went, because our expectations have been met. What? Like, I've got this Australian attitude of, well, there's hope. And I'm watching your team at the moment, you know, it's 2-1, and you might be joking about winning this 3-2, but I think there's every chance you could do that. Is that the same feeling inside the camp?
Yeah, definitely. I think even still before heading this, within the dressing room, the belief is that we can win it 3-2. You know, I think under Ben and Brendan in particular, you know, the first 2 tests, okay, haven't gone our way, but I felt like they could have easily gone a little bit of a different route. But the belief in the camp is definitely there that we can do it. I think naturally, as you've said, the English way is to feel a bit like, you know, as you say, pessimistic and, you know, maybe it won't happen. But I think within the camp, we're 100% committed to making that happen, and you know, we'll be doing everything we can next week to get it back here. I think under Ben and Brendan, it's very much we go into any game now, obviously looking to entertain. I know there's been a lot of that, trying to make sure that we're playing attacking cricket to make sure it's exciting to watch, but also with the idea of trying to win the game. You know, at no point is Ben interested in drawing a match. He's all about trying to make sure that the fans are entertained. We are playing a brand that people want to watch, and obviously by doing that, you're trying to win games of cricket. So that's certainly the feel from within the dressing room.
And when you give something to the fans, they then give it back. So what's that feeling for you like out in the middle?
Well, I think that's exactly that. And I'm not saying we've not had the support in the past, because we have, but it just feels like there's something building around the team because of how we've gone about over the last 12 months. That teams are kind of, the fans are more, I don't know, likely to give us a little bit more because of the way we're playing and the way the team are going about it. And you know, we're certainly feeling the backing of the nation. And you know, we certainly saw that at Henley on Sunday.
And how did that feel in those last few moments?
I was a relieved man. It's final runs, yeah, extreme, just relief, I think, to be honest with you. You know, you go into the final day hoping that you can go over the line, and I think that's maybe the difference between the English and the Aussies. Aussies will be like, we're getting over the line regardless, and we're like, we'll hope we go over the line. But, you know, we managed to do it, and Ashes cricket, there's always a twist, isn't there? There's always a twist, and it feels like this series isn't done yet by any means.
Absolutely, like the drama, and I think the drama of Day 5 at Lords has added to it all.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm interested in this, what's the relationship like with the Australian team?
It's absolutely fine. It's built up massively in the press, isn't it? Which does great wonders for the game itself, because, you know, people get fired up by it, and, you know, it riles the fans up and stuff. But generally, I think between the two teams, there's a good respect there. You know, I'm sure a beer will be shared after this 5th Test match at the Oval, and yeah, you know, people have got their own views on the situation at Lords, but you know, the game moves on, and we're happy to move on. But obviously, I suppose it naturally gives you that extra incentive to get over the line. You
know, we've heard a lot about your friendship with Mark Wood recently.
Yeah.
But tell us about the impact of having such a great relationship and a friendship, and those things that are formed by playing cricket.
Yeah, so I mean, let me just put a record. We're not an item, by the way. I mean, the last few days, I feel like our Facebook status was in a relationship. But no, we are very close mates, me and Mark. You know, we've played for England together for a long time. He is a nervous flyer. I don't know if anyone's seen the press the last few days, and I have held his hand a few times on flights, just because he's shit scared on the flight. So yeah, there has been that. But go back to your question. Sport and cricket in particular has been huge for me from when I was tiny. You know, the reason I enjoyed playing cricket was that I could play with my friends, get outside, be active, and feel like I was a part of something more than just playing cricket. You know, kind of a sense of belonging to a team, to a community, to people within a social environment where you can socialise with others from all sorts of backgrounds, as we're seeing here tonight. It develops us as human beings, as people. And I look in this room and you know, it's amazing to see some of the people, what people have done, you know, not just by playing it, but, you know, volunteers to help people do what, you know, what they can do. So, yeah, incredible what cricket's done for me. You know, I wouldn't be stood here without, you know, a lot of volunteers back when I was this big. So, a lot to overgain.
That's beautiful and touching, but the only question going in my head is, at what point do you hold his hand in the flight?
I mean, holding his hand might be a bit extreme. I mean, I'm more like tapping him and saying, mate, you'll be alright, you'll be fine.
But is it like when you hit turbulence, or is it on takeoff? Like, do you wait until there's a tense moment, or do you preempt it? Like,
no, I mean, if you knew Mark Wood the way everyone in the England dressing room knows Mark Wood,
yeah.
He's an interesting character. He is extremely energetic. So if you can imagine someone who's extremely energetic, can't sit still, can't sit down, and then he's put on a flight and he's strapped in a chair, you can imagine the sort of sense of how he's feeling.
Right.
So the best way to put it is just, you know, basically to stick his headphones on and shut up and he'll be fine.
What has cricket taught you that you've then taken off the pitch?
I mean, the fact that it's not the be-all and end-all for me at the professional side of the game. Obviously, you know, a lot is put on performance and, you know, it's a performance-related business and, you know, people say it's a job, but for me, you know, there's more to it than obviously performing out in the middle and winning games of cricket is great, but, you know, the bigger picture is what it can do for you off the field. I feel like it's certainly helped me grow my confidence. You know, I mean, not more so as a professional, but when I was playing at club level, you know, being able to play with older players in the dressing room, with older lads, certainly helped me improve my confidence, and that I took that into my school as well. So I think just for me, it grows you as a person, and that's what it's done throughout my career, and still is, I suppose.
And that's, again, why the disability cricket is so important, because it doesn't just teach you about the sport, it teaches you stuff to take off the pitch. I got a bit teary tonight when I turned up here, and all the banners out the front, and there were pictures of the men's players and the women's players, and there was one of the physical disability players. Huge! Like, even just a poster like that makes such a massive difference. You know the phrase, if you can see it, you can be it. And if you can see it that big, then there's more chance that you're going to want to be it that big. So thank you, and even having you here at a night like this makes such a huge difference as well. It kind of, you know, it makes everyone feel part of the same cricketing family, even if different nationality. But you know, and that's important for people with disabilities as well. So thank you for being here on behalf of Lord's Taverners. It means a lot. And oh yes. Can I ask a question? No. No, of course. Yeah.